There were people out in the city of Avondale today with mail-in ballots. But I bet you, I should have gone out there today and gotten one of those things and looked at it. I bet you there isn't one Republican on the entire thing. I bet you it's a straight Democratic ticket. They think they're smart. They're trying to tweak the vote in their favor. I believe that's, wouldn't that be considered, voter influence? Influence the voters? I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Nutheads. Thinking there's voter suppression all the time. That started with Stacey Abrams. Because she lost the race for the governor. She wanted to be the governor of Georgia, and she lost. And this all started over her with this voter suppression stuff. And purging of registration, that's in the Constitution state of Georgia. If a person hasn't voted in X number of elections, they get bounced. If you moved and did not update your voter's registration, but you updated your driver's license and everything else, you couldn't vote at your old precinct. And they say voter suppression, voter fraud, bullshit. Ain't nobody's vote being suppressed. It's all a Democratic lie. If people are stupid enough to vote for Joe Biden, you're not going to have a job. You're not going to be able to pay your bills. You're not going to be able to do anything that you're doing right now. They're going to put everybody locked down in their house. Total lockdown, the whole damn country. Wipe out the economy. And that is just plain stupidity. And we're not as bad off as the damn Democrats make it sound with the virus. They can't do any better than what's happening right now. Wake up, America. It's time to get your head out of your butt.
Protesters, do you think that has now eclipsed the virus as people's top concern? I'm not sure it's the top concern, but it's a growing concern. I think that's part of the reason why President Trump may have some momentum in this race. But I can't really envision a scenario where 2 months from now, in a few days, so you set the number of days, roughly 2 months away from this election, where coronavirus will not be the biggest issue hanging over everything. And I would say they're related, actually, in a number of ways. The other big issues, if you will, are economic concerns that are tied almost exclusively to coronavirus. And I think some of this violence and anger and unrest in the streets is fueled by this environment that we've all lived through for the last number of months, where people are kind of losing their minds. And I think that goes back to lockdowns and all of these other fears that have been simmering and stewing. So it's a sort of toxic mix of issues, but looming over all of it is coronavirus. And I think how that is looking, how the facts on the ground are looking on the virus itself in, let's say, mid to late October, that could be a decision-making event or situation for many, many voters. They're feeling better. They might give Donald Trump a second chance. If they're not feeling better or feeling worse, then I think it's almost impossible for the president to win re-election. Relatively speaking, we didn't hear.
If they go to the polls focused instead on law and order, that is going to help President Trump. But the real problem the country faces, Chris, has now entirely transcended that dynamic, because over the last 2 months, we have really entered territory where domestic terrorism is becoming systemic. Whenever you have groups of Americans gunning down other Americans in the streets because of the color of their skin or because of what they believe, that is the very definition of domestic terrorism. It's not a problem that can be solved with one vote or even in one election season. We now have a terrorism problem, not a politics problem. I don't know how you solve that quickly. I don't believe there's a country in history where it has been solved over the course of one election.
If you have a non-essential job and are working right now and bringing in an income, when Joe Biden gets into office, you will no longer have that job. You will no longer have that income coming in. How are you going to pay your bills, feed your family? He wants to shut the country back down completely. The only people who will be working are people in the hospitals, grocery stores. Won't be nobody working in a restaurant. There won't be anybody working in any job that is not essential. So, and you'll be locked down in your house again and not allowed to come out. Is that what you want? Because that's what's going to happen if you let Joe Biden get into office. He's going to lock you down in your house and you will be stuck there indefinitely, more than likely. If Joe Biden gets elected, people that work in that restaurant over here will be out of a job again. People that work in this store will be out of a job again. This parking lot will not have any automobiles in it. And that man right up here in front of me, he won't be working. The restaurants will be closed. They won't have any income. So if you're silly enough to think that Joe Biden's going to be your savior, Majestic restaurant over there will be closed. Again, there won't be none of these automobiles in this parking lot. Automobiles in this parking lot means money for the people that work in these stores. That's how Joe Biden intends to deal with something. And the protests will continue. They're not going to stop anytime soon. These folks won't have a job. The only people that'll be working are people in the grocery stores, the food chain, and food will go sky high. You won't be able to find toilet paper again. It's hard enough getting bleach and stuff like that as it is. You can't find any paper towels in the grocery stores. And everybody be buying stuff online again. Not coming out of their houses. Probably won't be allowed to come out your house. That's what's going to happen in Joe Biden's world. Well, it's Saturday night and the hot rodders are out. Listen to the noise and all this. I can still hear them in the background. Yeah, heading towards downtown someplace.